1 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The federal budget for the next fiscal year is being presented in the National Assembly today. The Special Assistant on Information says people will reject the protests of the corrupt elements who plundered the National Exchequer. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 youths in Chupaiya district today. The United States has warned that it will apply tariffs against Mexico if enough progress is not made on its commitment to curb illegal immigration. And now the news in detail. The federal budget for the next financial year is being announced today. The budgetary proposals will be presented in the National Assembly, which has been convened at 5 p.m. The budget will focus on ensuring economic stabilization and providing economic stimulus for sustainable growth. It would have special emphasis on austerity, fiscal discipline, external sector management, and protecting the poor. Prior to the presentation of the budget, the federal cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister Imran Khan will meet in Islamabad. It will discuss and approve the budgetary proposals for the next financial year. The advisor on finance, Hafiz Sheikh, will brief the cabinet about the budgetary proposals. The copy of the Finance Bill 2019-2020 will also be laid before the Senate today. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, has summoned the Senate session today at 6 p.m. in Islamabad. The Special Assistant on Information, Dr. Firdaus Ashik Awan, says people will reject the protests of the corrupt elements who plundered the National Exchequer. In a tweet today, she said any protest movement will only bring embarrassment to them. Dr. Firdaus Ashik Awan said the party, which has been confined to Sindh, has no popularity amongst the masses, and one saw its manifestation yesterday when only a few dozen people turned out in the support. The Special Assistant said history is a testimony to the fact that the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz always used and came into power on the shoulders of others. They cannot hold protests but only conspire. Dr. Firdaus Ashik Awan said had their hands been clean, they would have given evidence to prove their innocence. She said the National Accountability Bureau's chairman was appointed by PMLN and the Pakistan People's Party. She said Panama Papers were not released by us. The Lahore High Court has rejected the petition of Hamza Shahbaz Sharif for interim bail during the hearing in Lahore today. A 2-member bench of the Lahore High Court, headed by Mr. Justice Mazahir Ali Akbar Naqvi, heard the case about Hamza Shahbaz's alleged involvement in Ramzan Sugar Mill's case and assets beyond income. The National Accountability Bureau team has taken Hamza Shahbaz into its custody. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 youths in Chupaiya district today. The youths were killed during a violent cordon search operation at Aunira area of the district. Meanwhile, the occupation authorities have suspended all internet services in the district. In Afghanistan, the government forces have set free 44 detainees while capturing a Taliban base in Baghlan province. The Interior Ministry spokesman Nasrat Rahimi has confirmed the achievement and said 17 of the detainees are civilians while others are security personnel. The United States has warned that it will still apply tariffs against Mexico if enough progress was not made on its commitment to curb illegal immigration. This has been stated by the American Secretary of State Mike Pompeo while talking to reporters at a briefing in Washington. He said if sufficient progress was not made, there is a risk that tariffs will go back in place. Meanwhile, the Mexican foreign minister said Brazil, Panama, and Guatemala may need to be brought in to help if a deal between Washington and Mexico fails to reduce the numbers of American-bound migrants crossing Mexico. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe will meet Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and President Hassan Rouhani during his visit to Tehran this week in an effort to ease tensions between Washington and Iran. Japan Chief Cabinet Secretary said his country plans to encourage Iran to move towards easing tensions at the top leaders' meeting. In China, 5 people have been killed while thousands of others stranded in flood-related incidents in central and southern parts of the country. According to China Meteorological Administration, rainstorms are expected to spread to Guangdong, Fujian, Jiangxi, Yunnan, Sichuan, and Taiwan by Thursday. It also warned the authorities to be on their guard against severe thunderstorms and the possibility of small rivers bursting their banks in the coming days. And finally, cricket. In the ICC Cricket World Cup 2019, Bangladesh will face Sri Lanka at Bristol today. The match will begin at 1430 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Meanwhile, Pakistan will take on Australia at Taunton tomorrow at 1430 hours Pakistan Standard Time. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.